What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Danger, danger, danger everywhere. Around every corner there seems to be danger in the dueling world and excitement around it. And a lot of people are assuming that Dark World will be the best archetype to go alongside it, as both deal with discarding. But this feels very reminiscent of another buyout to me that ended up failing long term, but might have been good for the people buying and selling. We'll talk about that a bit as players. But I unironically showed Lucent just a bit ago as a card I didn't know was worth money at all because it only has its one printing as a super rare, hanging around $8. Now, 25 lowest? That's pretty crazy. 27 lowest over here, and I was talking with Billy, who got to play with Danger the entire weekend as Duel the Master, and he said if he did go the Dark World route with the deck, that he would think of Beige here, which is seeing very high sales rate on the DR4 and the ultra rare versions of it. Actually, the ultra is almost completely gone from eBay. It's going up quickly. And a lot of the left sellings are from foreign places, not the US, so they wouldn't get in very fast. Weird. But the reason why he would go with Beige, he said, is he would want a more reliable combo piece because you have access to stuff like Nightmare Goblin, where you can get this on the board and balance it for Grapha more consistently throughout a turn than perhaps you would get with Lucent. But basically, as long as you have Nightmares to continue pitching your cards, Beige can keep coming back from the graveyard. You can then bounce it to hand with Grapha and a link back up. So Nightmare pitch Beige, Beige special summon, Grapha bounce, use Grapha to link summon, rinse, wash, repeat. It's pretty dang good. Infinite link summoning as long as you have access to Nightmare pitches and the ability to do so. So Beige seems a little more solid, since with Nightmare Goblin, if anything should go wrong or you're not able to get another pitch, hey, that's pretty good. In fact, with Goblin alone, Goblin pitch, get Grapha, re-normal summon Beige. That's, again, pretty good, although you pretty much always want to use Grapha as the piece. And also getting bought out on a lot of fronts is Grapha himself. I'm going to laugh so hard if this rises to the top much quicker than Diabolos from the Layer of Darkness structure deck. And this is what it feels like a little to me. This hype around Dark World, it's, oh, it discards, we need discarding cards, Dark Worlds. And it's not bad. There's a lot of hype from tubers. It does have potential in combos. But I was talking to Billy, and first off, Billy says, I'm back. That was a pretty cool statement to see in the car. He's like, I'm back, I know how to duel. And he said the day one, they had a pretty bad deck for him, and throughout the days he shaped it. On the final day of Duel the Master, he went 11-1, losing only to the second place duelist from the WCQ this year. And he faced basically all Trickstars and Gokis, he said, all weekend, so he got realistic, good testing in with the deck, and said that he thinks Sky Strikers are probably going to be the way, which makes a lot of sense, right? But he thinks that Sky Strikers and abusing stuff, maybe I shouldn't be telling this, abusing stuff like our good old friend Phantom Sky Blaster should be the way to go, perhaps. And he said Boral Sword's insane. He said Bigfoot actually MVP for him, which a lot of people are saying Bigfoot should be one of the least expected, but when he was playing Metal Foes first, he saw into stuff like Counter and other cards that a lot of people didn't expect to be really good, like Combo, and like how to use them above what other players were, and him and Furman worked on that together. Weird, Furman won a UDS, and it's almost like Billy was really good during that time. So it's cool to see him come back, get excited about Yu-Gi-Oh, and figure out how to play, and actually, again, start to get insight into the meta before it happens from him. So pretty cool stuff there. But overall, he thinks Lucent is not nearly as good as Beige overall for those reasons, and it's nice reasoning in my opinion as well. But there are, of course, other cards going crazy. Brow here is on all fronts going up for the most part. It's always been a common that's been worth a lot, and you see $1.20 here but only one copy, so you have to like find other stuff that you would need to buy from Man Need a Job. I need a job, man. But you know, it's always been a card that's been commanding somewhat of at least a price that's above bulk. It's always been a wanted card. So every other variant, of course, the Hollow is going crazy for Brow, a good normal summon, but it doesn't recur itself for link summoning as the special summon as Beige might. Dark World Dealings, of course, works well with the Danger discard effects, but those discard effects are a hard once per turn. So it's unlikely you actually want to occur them that way, just in case you do reveal the same danger card on effect. But every single copy of Dark World's dealing is going sky high too. But again, I can't help but feel that this untested, untheorized version of the deck, while the deck is very exciting and very good, and has many more sets to come, I feel like this buyout is very preemptive and reminds me of people looking for every single card that you could use to tribute. You remember that with Lair? Ridiculous prices from cards that couldn't even actually interact with it. Just all sorts of reasonings and texts and searching for every nook and cranny that could work with Lair and maybe finally bust it. And a bunch of buyouts. It might have been really good for the vendors at the end of the day, but for the players, I can't feel like it was, help but feel it was like wasted time, wasted effort, wasted money. And while the creativity might have flowed, while you might have really had hope for and high hopes for that deck with how that Lair is actually built and how exciting Lair is, I'm starting to get that tinge of this is not maybe how Dangers will be played, or if it is, Beige Grapha seems like the best combo in the deck, and I guess you got to get to it a little faster, so Dark World Dealings might be the best route for that overall, alongside Beige, you know, Grapha. And so if you don't have Graphas now, I might suggest to get them if you're seriously considering the deck, but overall, it just stinks to me. It feels like Lair 2.0 a little bit for the Dark World side of things. But if Dark World's topping in 2018, that is pretty exciting. But again, it feels that way personally to me. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's going to? And of course, the hypest card of the weekend. How could we leave this one out of Market Watch? Neospatian Aqua Dolphin sees its first frontier prices resettling here at $90 and $76. So hopefully not a $100 Aqua Dolphin at the end of the day. Please don't buy these. It's ridiculous. But I feel like meme cards realistically do end up commanding stuff. And I feel like there's people out here right now who would just gladly spend $50 on an Ultimate Aqua Dolphin. I think you guys watching know who you are that would do that. And for me, personally, maybe it'll settle there, but I couldn't ever see it, especially with copies like Battles of Legend, Light Revenge, actually stabilizing up from the 40-cent mark. We see one, but you'd have to find something else from them. To, realistically, this is a $1 card now out of Battles of Legend. And I think it's still solid for its reasons of, I hit a hand trap out without getting hand trapped myself, because, hey, you're not ghost ogering this. So it's pretty interesting. At least this format, you're not ghost ogering it. But how will it last through a ban list, and we'll see what actually happens to Goki after it won the European event as well. Their WCQ as well for not having Link Rebo in their Gokis. So Topologic Gumbler Dragon really was underestimated. And we see it over here. It's crazy. Actually, I want to look up Gumblar real quick. I heard stuff was happening to it. I just want to double check that. Nope, no, still regular. No, I guess people just like to say things in my streams. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Embarrassing me here on Market Watch. And a final note here. I've had multiple people, ask me, I need Ash Blossom for the off season. What do I do here? What's my move? How can I get them cheaper? And my response is, don't look at Kaiba's collection. No, don't. Just cover your eyes at Kaiba collection copies. They're at around $40. First Ed, Secret Rares out of Macker are 50s. Should this somehow be announced in the Megatons, even as a Secret Rare, should this somehow appear as an accessible, easier to get card, you're going to want this original copy, and I'll show you why. We go over to a card that's not even meta right now, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Cheapest copy, I believe, is like $33. Yep, 33 right here for First Eds. Now, what's the other variant that was out at the time before the Super reprint is the Gold, and we see it as low as $12 now because the Ultra exists as a mid, but that's a 9. There's so many copies of Ghost Ogre, and they all hold value, but what's the king? Well, it's the Secret Rare Original, which boasts a price above any other version besides, you know, it finally got an Ultimate here. But its original First Ed, despite having a higher rarity, even holds its price there at 32. So what will happen with Secret Rare Ash Blossom? Over time, it will hold its price compared to the Ultra. The Ultra's only expensive right now because A, it was a little bit short printed, B, because it's the only other available copy and it was still somewhat hard to get. That's why it's holding prices. So if you're going with it, don't be cheap. This will be your best resale value long term. You could see the Ultra. If it's in the 10s and it's guaranteed, you could see the Ultra fall as low as 12, 10, and join Ghost Ogre there. But if, you know, you actually, it's way more usable than Ghost Ogre throughout any format, it feels like. If you have this version, you're going to hold long-term value comparatively, and that's my point. And actually, the deals on TCG Player are better than eBay right now for it. You see 51, so you save like $1, but there might be sales tax depending on the buyer and where you're buying it from, so do keep that in mind as well. And as a final note, I really just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys real quick and have a heart-to-heart here. I see a lot of my friends walking out the door on YouTube right now. You see Yugi No. He's headed out, and he's going to be coming back to YouTube eventually. We all have priorities in life. We see Phoenix Flare X actually on long hiatus, and he said in his stream that he's done for now, and that if he does anything, it'll be like stream replays, perhaps, and him really just taking off and enjoying the game from a non-competitive standpoint. At least that's his plan right now. And I see all these people leaving, and it makes me think, maybe this isn't forever, but for my unforeseeable future, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep grinding it out, and this is what I want to do for a living and what I want to do with my life, realistically, if I can, if I'm able, if my, you know, I have the ability to do this. This is what I choose to do. I turned what I love into somewhat of a job here, and I appreciate it every day. I appreciate my patrons. I appreciate those to give. And that wraps me around to, you don't have to give to me if you're watching this. I know a lot of people watch my content that don't even necessarily like me and come here to just dislike the video, but do support your favorite content creators because they're not here forever. You know, we have our natural lifespan at the worst of it, but they're not necessarily here for the longest of hauls. And you know, you could give to them and feel like, oh man, they're gone. No, enjoy the time you had with them, enjoy the moments they gave you, and I definitely know I've laughed out loud plenty at a lot of Yugi No videos, and I've definitely had my moments with Phoenix in the stream. Phoenix is like those late night drives through the 24-hour streams. Oh man, I don't know if I would have made it the same without him on some of those. Phoenix, definitely, thank you, man. So to people who might have one foot out the door or both, you know, I appreciate what you did and how long you were here for and the grind. And just to my audience, it doesn't have to be me, but your favorite content creators, do support them. Do what you can for them. Like, even if you can't give, you know, like their video. Tell them, you know, what you enjoyed about them, and just share with them some heart-to-hearts. I promise they'll enjoy it. I swear. So, thanks for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, why not leave a like? And subscribe if you haven't already. And I hate to start doing this, but please ring that bell, because apparently you just have to get multiple levels of bells. So make sure you have, like, all notifications on. Oh, YouTube.